Hi, I'm George, and welcome to this intro video for Mattercraft. For those that aren't aware, Mattercraft is the next generation of 3D tooling. It's our brand new, rich 3D web-based content creation tool, and you can build mobile-based augmented reality, headset-based virtual and mixed reality, and also 3D websites. It's the perfect development tool for those that have a previous web development background, or those that are coming from Unity, or those that are also augmented reality developers using things like social AR apps. So before we get started, let's explain how we can launch Mattercraft. The way that we recommend is by heading into my.zap.works, which is the ZapWorks content management system. We have a 14-day free trial that you can sign up for, or alternatively, you can purchase a developer plan for a really cheap price, or we have other plans available with some extra added features. Once you've signed up to my.zap.works, you'll see something that looks like this. The way you can access Mattercraft on my.zap.works is by clicking the big red button at the top, heading to Mattercraft, and then we'll give our project a name. So I'm going to call this my first project. And then we can click Open Mattercraft. Because we've opened it from my.zap.works, we have all of the features and functionality that come with Mattercraft. There are alternative ways you can open Mattercraft through the direct URL, but if you create, let's say, a local project for Mattercraft, you lose some of the functionality, like being able to commit your projects. So now that we've opened Mattercraft, this is the first screen we will see, and this is where we launch our project from. Mattercraft comes with a number of templates and examples to help you get started quickly. So you can have a scroll through these. There are a number of augmented reality, headset-based, physics-based project templates. And right at the bottom in the Learn and Explore section, there are a number of kind of functionality templates and examples that you can break down, you can open, you can see how they're set up. This video, we're going to be kind of concentrating on the UI elements that make up Mattercraft and kind of a really basic intro of how to get started using Mattercraft. If you'd like to learn more about specific functionality, then we recommend following along with some of the next videos. But so we can get started straight away, let's click on the blank with Splash project, which just is a simple project with a box and all of our setup ready to go. And we'll click Getting Started or Get Started. Don't worry too much about this step, but on first load, Mattercraft will install all of the dependencies that the project needs, which basically is just setting it up so that it will work as expected. Cool, so now we're in Mattercraft. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through some of the important panels that are in Mattercraft, and we'll go from there. So left-hand side, we have a number of different tabs. By default, the project tab will be open, which is this little home icon. And this means that everything on this left-hand side is related to this tab. So everything that's over here is our project files. By default, Mattercraft projects come with an index.html file, an index.ts file, and a scene.zconf file. Don't worry too much about these for now, we will come back to them later. But most important thing is the scene.zconf is your current active scene. Your index.html is your splash screen and your kind of index setup. And the index.ts is just the thing that launches those. If you want to add assets like 3D models, images, videos, etc. to your project files, you can simply drag them into this box, which we'll do in later videos. Or alternatively, you can click on the plus icon and go add from your computer here. So next thing we can look at is the middle, so the 3D viewport. You can use your left mouse click to kind of move around the scene. You can use your right mouse click to pan around the scene, and you can also use your scroll wheel to zoom in and out. There are a number of properties for your viewport along the top, so you can turn the grid off, turn the grid on, see specific stats around your project, your currently active scene. You can change kind of how the viewport is rendered. You can change your active camera. So we're just in a free camera right now, which allows us to move around, but we can have a look at what the perspective camera is seeing. And there are also a number of other properties in this burger menu. So that's the viewport. If I was to click on something in my viewport, you'll see that over here we get a highlight. So this is the hierarchy on the right hand side. And this is a list of all of the components that build up your current scene. So this is the default blank project. And you'll see that we have a box 3D model, which is the one that we're selected on over here. We also have a perspective camera, so the camera that's in our scene. And we have a defaults group, which just make up some of the kind of default things that we want in this project, which will generally come with all of the projects that you open. Then down here, we have the node properties. So these are relative to the thing that we are selected on, or contextual. So because we're selected on the box in the hierarchy and in the viewport, we have our node properties related to the box. So we have width, height, depth, etc. And we can update these. So for example, if I wanted to turn the box invisible, I can just uncheck the visible property and then check it back. And if I click on this little X icon, that will just reset the property back to its default value. So you'll see that our position by default is moved up a little bit. We can also change properties like the position, scale and rotation of our component using this little pivot tool. So if I wanted to move it up and down, I can do that. Left and right. If I wanted to rotate it, I can use the little green one or the blue one or the red one. And I can also scale my component using the little dots. There is a specific scale kind of tool up here. So if we scale with this turned on, it will scale in all axis. If we turn this off, it will scale in one, which is quite a nice and important feature. You can also hold down the shift key when you're selected on a component, and that will automatically toggle this on and off. So I can hold down shift and it will scale across all axes, and I can let go and it will only scale on one, and vice versa if I have this turned on and hold down shift. We also have down here a behaviors panel. This relates to adding interactivity to a component that you're selected on. So our box, have a little look through here. We will come back to these in later videos. At the bottom, we have the animations panel. Again, we will come back to this at later videos, but down here, if we click on this, you'll see that the animation panel opens. We're not going to go through that in this video. This is just an overview, but as I say, follow along in some of the later videos and we'll go in depth into the timelines and animations and states that we have in there. Just going to move me out the way and we'll have a look at the left-hand side. So as I mentioned, there are a number of tabs. I'm not going to run through all of these now, but some of the most important for most projects are the Publish tab. So once you've completed kind of building your project and you want to share it via a QR code or a deep link or a link or a URL, you can click Publish and that will automatically give you a version and a QR code for you to scan, and will also publish to the CMS, which was the page that we saw before. You can also use commit history down here. So if you want to make sure that you have kind of a version of the project that you want to revert back to, if you've made some big changes and you know that they might be breaking something, you can commit your project in here. And then there are a number of settings in the bottom left hand corner, including being able to change the theme of Mattercraft. If you're more of a light mode person, you can choose light mode. I am always a dark mode man myself. And there's also a number of other settings in here that you can update if you want to. Cool. So another feature of Mattercraft that's important to show straight away before we jump into any features and functionality is the live preview button up here. So if we click on this live preview, you'll see that we have a number of options that we can use. So there's a QR code that we can scan on a mobile device. So just point your camera at the QR code and it will launch. There's a way of copying the live preview URL, which allows us to then paste it into a desktop browser or a mobile browser. And then there's also a simulator view, which opens the live preview directly in Mattercraft itself. So let's use that. This is the one that we'll use for most of the time when we start to build some augmented reality mobile-based AR projects. We'll start to scan the QR code, but it's worth noting that this is a completely live preview. So it will be in real time and it will simulate what you're seeing in your viewport and what your project is doing. So let's click it. Let's have a look at it. Move myself back over. So on the right hand side, we have the live preview open, and if we click launch, this is a live version of our project. And what I mean by live is any changes that I make in my viewport on the left hand side will also occur in my live preview, which is really nice if you're trying to position something specifically or make changes. Your live preview will automatically update, which is an awesome feature. This will also pull through onto mobile devices or headsets that you're scanning and the live preview on. So a really nice kind of developer friendly feature when you're creating your projects in Mattercraft. In addition, when you have a live preview open, you can click on this button in the bottom right hand corner, and you'll see all of the live previews. So if I was to also scan this on my mobile device, I'll see a live preview of whichever device it is appear here. This is the live preview that's open here. And I can click on this, and if I start to add things like console logs or any errors that appear, they'll appear in here based on what I'm actually doing in my live preview. So that is a kind of really quick tour of Mattercraft. Obviously, we haven't started building anything yet, but we will in future videos. So if you'd like to find out how to build something in Mattercraft, follow along with the next videos. Thank you.